Right, welcome all then, guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Up to 11 with me, Killjoy, the show where we get to listen to video game music. Get in. Right, as you can tell from the picture today, we're looking at a game called Scoregasm. And from what I can tell, Scoregasm is very much like Geometry Wars. I say very much like, I don't actually know, I've not played it, but from what I can tell, it looks like Geometry Wars, but a lot more to it. As for the soundtrack for this particular game, it's pretty much full of techno, chip, acid, speedcore, all that kind of. If you're into that kind of thing, this is right up your street, really. It's very fast-paced, very pumping. It's really, really cool, actually. Wouldn't normally be all my kind of things, but it works. From what I can tell, this works really well in the game. All right. So the first track we're going to be listening to is a track called Death Tool Saturdays. Cool name. What's this track about? Well, basically, like I said, it's a techno chip acid kind of combination. This particular one's got quite a cool little glitchy drum kit at the start, and I quite like this one because there's constant elements being added to it, so it's pretty cool. So let's get down to business and have a listen, shall we? Yeah, so that was Death Tool Saturdays. Pretty cool little tune, actually. I do like the way it flows in that one. It's definitely one of the less heavier thumping tracks in the soundtrack for sure, but it's still pretty cool. I can kind of, from what I've seen in the game, I can kind of see why that would fit in quite nicely, which is good. Right, the next track we're listening to is a track called Life is Pain. Sorry, yeah, Life is Pain. This is actually really fun. I really like this track. Definitely one of my favourite ones from this particular soundtrack for this game. Just like to point out, I haven't played this game. I think I mentioned that at the start. I haven't played this game, so judging from what I've seen with the soundtrack, it looks like it fits beautifully. So, this next track, yeah, Life is Pain. I quite like this. If you like heavy drums and distorted drums, you're gonna like this. This has got some really cool, like I said, distorted drums. They're very growly. It's a pretty cool drum loop as well. It kind of, I think it doesn't quite loop properly. It cuts it, but it works really well. And then there's added layers to the drums as the track goes through. So this is really cool. So let's have a listen to this one. This is Life is Pain. So yeah, that was Life is Pain. I really like that. I mean, playing a game with a tune like that, especially if it is like Geometry Wars, I can see why that's just really good to shoot things to. I really like the fact that the drums in that are quite, like I said, growly and dark and stuff, and they're really, really like distorted, which you don't hear too often these days, which is quite nice. So I do like the beat for that track. It's really good. Right, the last track that we're going to be listening to today is called The Revenge Theme. This is pretty good as well. It's got a cool little riff that starts this track off, and this reminded me when I first listened to it. It reminded me of kind of like F-Zero, like F-Zero GX, kind of racing along to this. Probably even things like Wipeout on the PlayStation and Magforce Racing on the Dreamcast. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, so this is really cool. This one, it does have that kind of race feel to it. So have a listen to this. yeah, so that was the revenge theme. Hopefully, well, maybe you can, maybe you can't see what I mean by that. Sounds like a kind of a should be on a racing game. Definitely gave me that vibe when I first heard it. And as probably as normal, as you're wondering, the composer for the track for this game, the composer is a gentleman by the name of John Marwin. Hopefully, I got that right. I think it's John Marwin, and you can buy the album. You can buy the album, which is for the game Scoregasm, on Bandcamp, which I'll put up the link for afterwards. And please support the guys that make the music for any games, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have the great music that we get from video games. So I mean, even if you go and buy a couple of tracks for this album, at least try and support this guy in some way. And I think, from listening to the whole of this, you should definitely buy this particular soundtrack. It's really good from start to finish. And maybe you should even buy the game. If you like things like Geometry Wars, anything like that, and score games, you should probably go out and buy the game itself. It's not that expensive on Steam. But yeah, I will put the links up for the Bandcamp afterwards, so you can go and buy it. Or if you've got Steam, you can probably buy it on there as well. So please do. But yeah, so that's me done for the day. So yeah, I'll see you all next time.